Hello, welcome to my channel, Crafty Fox DIYs. This video is part of the What Would You Make Challenge for April 2025. As always, the hosts of the What Would You Make Challenge are Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY and Christine from Divine Designs. This month's guest host is Tiffany from Simply Blessed Crafts. In the description box, I will include links for all of their channels as well as a link to the playlist so that you can get all kinds of inspiration for crafting with wood. Okay, let's get into it. For this first DIY, I am using this basket to create a door hanging. As you can see, the back of it is flat. This side is not sun faded, so you can still see the blue with the stars and then the red stripes. I'm going to dry brush some white paint on the front and the sides, but I'm going to leave the back just as it is. It's not going to be seen while it's hung up anyway. Now I have this wood welcome. I believe I got this at Walmart. And then I have a skinny dowel rod that I'm going to use. I'm going to turn this into a pick to stick into my arrangement. And then I have a whole bunch of different kinds of flowers, all nice, pretty, springy, summery colors. And that's what I'm going to put into it. And then I have this ribbon that I am also going to use. Some buffalo check, some yellow burlap ribbon, and then some brown burlap ribbon with lace on it. I also have a piece of foam. I got this in as packing material, something that I had ordered. It's a nice thick foam, and I'm going to use that to put to the basket to put my flowers in. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is paint my welcome. And I want it to be nice and bright and stick out amongst the flowers, so I'm going to be painting it yellow. It is by Fantastory. It's mid-yellow. And then, like I said, I'm going to just dry brush some white paint onto the sides and the front of the basket. Okay, I'm just going to let that dry, and then I'm going to dry brush the white paint onto my basket. Now, I could give this a full coat of paint if I wanted to, but I wanted to kind of, look rustic and weathered, but I didn't want it to look like it's faded. And that's exactly how it already looked. So that's why I'm choosing to dry brush on some paint. You could also do any color you would like, whatever matches your decor style. And I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom because it is going to be hanging. So just in case, somebody a little shorter is there. I'm not very tall myself, so. Okay. I'm just going to let that sit there. And I'm not going to touch it a whole lot, putting in the flowers or anything. So that's what I'm going to do now. So we'll put my foam down in here. I'll turn it around this way so you can see better what I'm doing. Now I'm going to pick out all of the whitish flowers. Okay, now I'm going to get the yellow ones. The reason why I started the white ones is because I have the most white. The next color I had the most of was yellow. So that's why I'm doing it next. And then I will do all the other ones that I don't have as many of. Had a flower missing its stem there. Okay. Let's see. Now for my welcome, I need to put it on the stick, but I'm going to test out the size of my stick first. Okay. So now I need to know about how much I need to cut off of it. So, okay, that's going to be perfect. Okay, now I have this cut down to size. I'm going to use a combination of hot glue and wood glue to hold the welcome onto my skinny dowel rod here. I believe I got these in a pack at Walmart. There's like 10 of them in there for not very much. I'm just going to put the dowel rod behind the L, and that way you won't be able to see it. If I put it like over here, it'll be like in between a letter. So this way the L works perfect. Let's hold that for a second to let that hot glue set up, and then the wood glue will eventually dry all of the way, and it will be on there permanently. But right now the hot glue is giving me that good old temporary hold until the wood glue dries. I'm just going to stick my welcome right down in there like that. There we go. Okay, I like that. Now I have my other ribbons here. Now I already cut them down to the length that I wanted. You make your bow however big you want yours. Now to make my bow, take my ribbon like this. I've got it in the order that I wanted it in. I put the yellow burlap, then the gingham or the buffalo check, and then the brown burlap. And I'm going to fold it into the awareness ribbon, like so. And then I'm going to scrunch this down like that and create my 2 loops on either side, and then I have my tails. Now I'm going to take a piece of jute twine and I'm going to tie up the center of my bow with it. Pull my loops out a little bit. I'm doing the yellow and the buffalo check together, and then the brown burlap by itself. Then I'm going to hot glue that to the front of my basket. And to hang my basket, I'm just going to take some of the jute twine. And I'm going to cut a nice piece here to hang it with. And my welcome's wanting to turn around, so I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on the bottom of my dowel rod so that whenever I stick it inside, it will stay in place. And when that glue sets up, then my welcome should stay in place and not keep moving around on me. Bow's giving me a little bit of trouble, so what I'm going to do, just put a gob of hot glue on here. Then I'm going to take one of these clips, just clip it on there. Wait for that glue to set up, and we should be good to go. Okay, so now let's take this clip off. Looks like my bow's going to stay. Glue the twine on, and there we go. Okay, I'm kind of thinking that this needs something in the center of this bow. I don't really like how that looks there. And I noticed I just had these flowers sitting here. They're not on the stem. And yeah, I don't like that color. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, I'm just going to take this sunflower here, and this is what I'm going to put in the center there. I'm going to put some hot glue on here so the petals don't come off. Let's go put them around there, like that. And some of the center of this sunflower came off. Just noticed that laying there on the floor. So we are going to glue that back into the center there. There we go. Yeah, I like that much better. Okay. So there we go. It's just going to be so pretty hanging on my front door. Okay, now for this next project, I have this wood plate, these wood half beads. Then I have this. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's supposed to be a placemat. It's got like a little pocket here. It is like an actual pocket. Maybe to put a napkin in. A little button here, and then something else over here. Not sure what this would be for either. But what I'm going to be doing is using this to create a pocket on the plate. And then I'm going to put these pink flowers down into it. And one thing about this is that I will be able to change the flowers out with the season. So like at Christmas time, I'll put some poinsettias in it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is paint my half beads with the color Crimson Red. I'm not sure how many exactly I'll need. So I'm just going to kind of guess here. I'm going to do 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is Crimson Red by Fantastory. I'm using this color because I'm going to be using this in my kitchen, and this color of red is like a complementary color in my kitchen. Okay. Well, okay, I didn't have any painter's tape left, so I'm just going to use some Scotch tape here to hold my beads down so that I can paint them more easily. Okay, I got all of those painted. I'm just going to move them over to the side a little bit. Now I want this pocket that's on this, I'm going to call it a placemat, to be onto the plate. So I'm going to turn this over and place it so that the pocket will be on the plate. I'm going to go ahead and trace the whole thing, even though I don't need the whole thing. But I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing. Now I have a suspicion that whenever I go to cut this is going to unravel. It really looks like that's what's going to happen. So what I'm going to do is make a circle in hot glue. Well, I guess I don't need to make the whole circle, but do the half circle and then come across where I'm going to be cutting it to make my pocket. So across here. So I'm just going to go around with the hot glue. So that way whenever I cut it, it won't unravel. I'm going to set this to the side, let the glue set up. And while it's doing that, now this has a saying on it. It's mostly going to be covered. So I really don't need to do anything to this, but I decided to go ahead and give it a dry brushing. I don't know how to get these letters off of here, except for giving it a full coat. But like I said, it's mostly going to be covered, so I'm not going to do that. But I do want to kind of make it look a little different. Now this covered a lot better than I expected it to. Really, I thought the words were going to show. I thought the words were going to show a whole lot more than they do. This is fine. I like it like this. Okay, now glue should be good enough. Okay, I'm going to cut this out. going to be perfect. Okay, I'm going to put some hot glue on here to secure this burlappy placemat thing on here. Go around, make sure it's all glued down well. Looks good. And I'm going to take my half wood rounds and I'm going to start in the center. Place one. Put one on each corner over here. And then just evenly space out the others in between. Easel back up. Oh boy. Okay. Just tuck my flowers down in here. Like this, even though the half beads are red. I think the pink flowers are fine. Of course, that's a personal choice. Okay, let's take one final look at these projects. Okay, that's all for this video. Let me know what you think of my basket door hanger and my pocket plate. And don't forget to check out the description box for links to the host channels as well as the guest host channels, and also the playlist for all of the videos in the What Would You Make challenge. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.